Right, here we go. It's a Sunday bunch, and if you're hungry and you want a Sunday lunch, pop over to the Hastings Hill pub. Absolutely fantastic carvery, great grub. I've got first-hand experience of it now. Absolutely beautiful. A massive Sunday lunch for just over £8. Wonderful. Had dinner with these two lads here. So on the panel today we got Dino, Sean Middleton, and Michael Bowers, and the daft lad himself. I want to give a shout out first. I've had this lovely mug made by Mixing Magic off YouTube. Thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic mug with this thing on the back. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
There's the merchandise coming in.
Get me one.
Got some sponsors.
So before we start, actually we have started. Right, so we'll get on with it. It's the match review. I'm really full now, like I don't know, I might fall asleep halfway through this. Right, so the match review. Before I'm going to have my say on the incident that really bugs the life out of me, I'm going to get started with Michael Bowers. What's your thoughts on the match yesterday?
Cack.
Simple
as that. I said it with the Oxford game.
Did you go down?
No.
Right.
I did watch it through certain means, which I'll not disclose on here, but you know.
Highlights.
Yeah, let's go from,
90-minute highlights.
There was like the highlight of McGeady's shot in the 90th minute, which hit the VAR. It wasn't, no, don't get us wrong, I know that Wycombe are second in the league, but really if we're wanting to get promoted, we had to target going there and getting a result. Yesterday was the chance to close the gap, and it was hugely disappointing we didn't take it. And for the first 15-20 minutes I thought we were alright. At least there was a game plan, at least we looked more organised, we looked like there was a more structure to the team. Then once again, switch off, yet again, no clean sheet, which I'm going to keep banging on about till we keep one, so I'm probably going to bang on all season, to be honest. But even so, like after that, we just didn't turn up for about the next hour or so after that. We only really turned up the last 10-15 minutes. And even then, it was like limp effort, really. Yeah. There wasn't really much to it.
So lads, you two at the match, and you've got some interesting thoughts on the game.
Them two poor souls.
Go on. Do you know what? I don't think it was too bad. I mean, I know we got beat, but I see spells in the game where we're actually looking like we could do something, you know, like compared to what I've been like. I think like Power, I mean, I'm a big fan of Power, but I think he looked like he could do something yesterday. You know, I mean, McGeady was alright, I mean, to a certain extent. But, I mean, there wasn't much in the game. I mean, they scored that goal off a set piece. It was poor defending. I felt their lad who put in the corner. But, I mean, there wasn't much in the game. They had a chance in the second half. But I think it was just that goal, and obviously, I thought... I mean, the supporters were angry. They thought we played really bad, but I would see little signs of a positivity, like actually going forward. When you're in.
Well, I was obviously a bit pissed off I lost the game, but we need to realise we're playing Wycombe, who are second, who've beat teams we haven't beat yet, like Lincoln. They beat Lincoln 3-1. We can't even beat Lincoln, so they are a good team. They score goals, and they've got a beast up front in Nack and Fenwa.
That's putting it mildly.
For me, the first 10 minutes, it was just hoofball by both teams. Both of them looking for Charlie. We were looking for Charlie White, them were looking for Nack and Fenwa. Bring the ball down, knock things on. And then all of a sudden, I could see we had a game plan, because the first attack of the game for us, McGeady cuts inside. And you know what McGeady's like? He'll try and take him on and shoot. He took them on and crossed it, looking for Wyke. And they were getting the ball into Wyke, and everyone was trying to get round Wyke, and there was a couple of times we laid the ball off to like Watmore, and he was getting down to the byline. It was just the final ball, so you could see we had a plan. And then when Wyke went off, Greg came on, and Greg looked a totally different player to what I've seen. He was chasing balls down.
He was
making runs. He was making runs. He would never make for Jack Ross, and you could see what was going on, because even Power, he was bussing past the striker to get into the box. He was making runs. You would never see him run, so I could see the difference. Don't get us wrong, we didn't play amazingly, we played better, but Wycombe are second for a reason, and they're a hard team to crack. But their goal, in my opinion, I felt like it just hit Akinfenwa, and it just felt like their player. That's how I seen it, and my mistake sees it a bit different. But you know, it was a bad goal to concede, and at the end of the day,
it was a bit of a flat game, really. In all respects.
You know what? It was two teams just scrapping it out, and them got the better.
There wasn't much in the game, really. I thought it was
for a team who's second, we didn't look miles off them.
So do you think that Parkinson's instructed Power and Will Grigg do something different to what Jack Ross has told them to do?
Because Power was running. I seen Power made a run from centre mid to the left wing in the first half. When do you see Power on the left wing? He was, and then he would run through the middle trying to get to the making a run for Hume to pull it down there. And for me, I thought Hume as well. Going forward, he was great. He was getting past players. He was whipping the ball in. McLaughlin had an okay game. He played better than what he has done, and Lynch, but like you say, Akinfenwa was just a handful for us.
But can I just point out that Akinfenwa, have you ever seen so much muscle on one person? In
Well, he was getting stick. Everyone was calling him fat. And at one stage, you looked at us.
just
You
me
looked
say,
at us going, "Me?
I'm fat. Yeah, I'm fat. Akinfenwa is
No,
not
I'm
fat. That is muscle. That's pure muscle.
He's an intelligent player as well. For 37-year-old to do what he does, it's really intelligent. He's not fat.
37.
37-year-old.
Oh my god.
His touch, he had a great touch on him. He was flicking balls.
I thought he was younger than that.
Mind you, he can't run. Can't run like.
Yeah, I suppose that happens when you get to late 30s.
Now, is it because players are frightened of him, or is it because he's that good? For me, some players are frightened of him, frightened to get in his way, and if that's the case, it's poor.
You look at the bloke, and don't get us wrong, you're a professional. You shouldn't be frightened of anybody when you go on the pitch, but when you look at him, and you think he's one of the strongest. He's the strongest bloke in this league.
He's not a nasty bloke.
Oh, he's way. I think he rattled Luke 09 before the game.
He might have, but if you saw during the game when that shot came in and Burge made the good save, he went over to Burge, tapped him on the back and said, "Well done, that good save." So he's a decent bloke.
By the way, on Lee Burge, I thought he had a really good game. He was claiming for balls. He didn't make many mistakes, and when he got the ball, he was releasing it quick. Like, McLaughlin does that pretendy throw thing, and he slows the game down. Lee Burge was looking to get it straight out. He was kicking the balls for Watmore. He was throwing it out to the left back and right back very quick. And
Burge looked good yesterday, didn't he?
I wouldn't say McLaughlin. I think him and McLaughlin are like on the same level, mate. Like, that's good thing to have.
But even so, though, like Burge has been knocking on the door for a good couple of weeks now. He's had some good displays in the cups, and when McLaughlin, like after McLaughlin made that save at mistake at Lincoln, when he just basically stands there and lets Tyler Walker jump in ahead of him and score. Burge must be thinking, come on, if I don't start the next game, then there's something.
I think you've got to keep him in for Tranmere, definitely. I think if we win Tranmere, you keep him in again.
If he keeps being on form, you can't drop him.
And
that's going to be good for John McLaughlin. That
I felt sorry for him yesterday because, like, see, the goal wasn't his fault.
Oh no,
he couldn't do anything about the goal. I mean, I think that free kick would hit the post. I don't think he got fingers. No,
or not. It was like it just hit for me. It just hit Akinfenwa because that's who they're aiming for, and it just bounced to the defender and he smashed it in. For me, it's human error for some players. You're not supposed to switch off, but when you're looking at the ball and the ball just falls to the player in the correct place, and he just whacks it.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it was more poor marking and defending rather than anything to do with the goalkeeper. Burge was left in no man. Burge was left no cover whatsoever for the goal.
Here's my take on the whole goal situation itself, right? And bear with us, mind. I've had man flu this week, so I might cough a little bit. I've had a bit of man flu this week.
That's probably my fault. I had it last week, and it's just going away.
Right, before we get onto the goal, I want to go back to when I used to do a lot of running. I used to run for club and country now and again, and cross-country running, used to go out there, used to give 100%, you come off with bumps and bruises. I've seen people actually punch each other as they're running up banks because they're getting each other's way. I seen one time was a 2,000-man race, and the whistle went going through a farmer's field at Pontefract. The guy in front fell over, he got trampled on by about, I don't know how many people ran over him. It's not right, but that's what happened. You take the bumps and bruises, you get on with it. I fell over during a race once, a toddler, we were going through down a main road, and a woman was walking her toddler, and he ran in front of us, and I had to divert out the way. I did a full somersault, bounced off the ground, got back on my feet, finished the race for the team, because I knew if I didn't finish the race, the team would get disqualified. So I took one for the team. Now, yesterday, with this match, right?
I was going to hope this analogy is linked to the game.
There was 5 people around Adi Akinfenwa within 10 yards. Luke 09 was behind him, so I don't blame him for it. At least he went for the header, he tried to get the ball. And you've got Watmore, who was about 5-6 yards sort of towards the goal out away of him, so I don't blame him. I kind of blame there's 3 defenders there. You got Conor McLaughlin, I think, if I'm 100% got Conor McLaughlin, you got Willis and you got Lynch. Now 3 of them there. Every man and his dog knows where that ball's going to go from that throw-in or from that corner. It's going to go to the target man, Adi Akinfenwa. Why wasn't one of those defenders standing between the ball and the defender? 90% of the time, if he's standing in front of Adi Akinfenwa, the ball's going to get cleared, and that ball won't get knocked down in front of him to Charles, who was waiting to hit the ball in the back of the net. Why didn't one of those, either they've got no balls, they're not clever enough, or for one, I think maybe it's just switched off. All of them just switched off. But you need to take responsibility. You've got a big target man there who isn't the tallest man on the pitch. If someone like Conor McLaughlin stands in front of him, that ball never gets to him at all, and that ball doesn't go in. 10% of the time, the ball might get over his head, and he might hit it towards goal, but Burge is there, he'll probably save it. That ball wouldn't go down in front of him and go straight to Charles and wouldn't go in the back of the net. So why is someone not taking responsibility at that 1 minute in time? Everybody knows where that ball's going. It's going to the big bloke. So why? Are they frightened of him? Are they scared because he's a big shit house of a man? You know, he's a nice bloke. What's he going to do? Punch you in the face? He's not going to touch you. He's not going to kick you.
Go on, man, go on.
The worst that'll happen, you get a kick, you get a knock, you go on the ground, you get a free kick. You're saving the team, you take one for the team. Someone's got to take responsibility on that pitch. And Parkinson will see that. If I see it, I'm not a footballer, everybody else sees it. Parkinson will see it, and he will put this situation right. Nobody blames Parkinson for yesterday at all.
No. And
the team has got to take responsibility, simple as, and the defenders have got to start defending and taking responsibility.
Exactly. I'll tell you what, I had a rant last week. It's man's turn this week. These two have got to have a rant now.
I don't dislike them. It's just, why wasn't there somebody in between that ball coming over and the striker there? Everyone knows where it's going. Why isn't somebody standing in front of them?
That's my point. The majority of the time we can see goals because we switch off in games.
It's crazy. Absolutely
Why
crazy.
Do players just have a habit of just switching off? Like I keep saying, nobody man marks anymore, and it really, really pisses me off because, like, well, if you man mark, the amount of goals that you could probably stop is tenfold. And even you said there's got to be someone stopping the supply line. Once the cross comes in, get someone. Poof, get the header out, get it headed away. Lynch or Willis should have been there. Both of them are quite good headers of the ball. So get in the way of it, stop the danger, stop the supply.
And what bugs me, I'm out there doing my cross-country races. I come off with, my legs are being spiked, I've got blood running down my calves. I'm doing that because I love the sport. I don't get paid for doing it. I do it because I want to win. Because I might win trophies, I might win medals, but I don't get any prize money. I don't get any massive amount of wages. But nobody's making them players go out on that pitch and making them play for Sunderland Football Club. They choose to do that because it's their job and that they want to perform. They want to get paid. They love that sport. So why aren't you doing your job properly? That's all I'm asking.
Just as a follow-up question, that then. So do you think then, in some respects, we were too harsh on Jack Ross then?
Well,
if the but what I mean is that if the players aren't having the right mentality or having that, well, like I said before, this is why I keep banging on about player responsibility.
Then it's down to Phil Parkinson to sort the the good players from the bad players, the players that want to perform for Sunderland Football Club and the players that just don't give a shit.
It's what I've constantly said. I think in general, since we have dropped out in League One, I have said it, I do think the team in general has cared, but there have been moments where we've just completely gone to sleep, and it's ridiculous. I think with Phil Parkinson though, one thing we were told that he's very good at doing in this league is setting teams up and making sure we don't concede. And I've said it countless times, and I'll say it again and again and again. If we keep clean sheets, we'll win most games. I'm not expecting clean sheets every single game because I'm not that delusional. But by this point, to have not kept a clean sheet is embarrassing. Aren't we the only team? Aren't we the only team in League One?
It's crazy.
Like even Bolton Wanderers have kept more clean sheets than us.
I might be completely out of the ballpark, but that's just my opinion. And I've watched that goal about 10 times, and I just think, why is there nobody defending, getting in the way of that man? You shouldn't be scared of anybody. Simple as, you're doing your job, you're getting paid to do your job, and just use your head.
But even if they think they're afraid of Akinfenwa, they should have known going into the game that Wycombe were going to target Akinfenwa.
You won the ball loads of times yesterday.
You've got to remember though, like these players aren't robots. These players aren't Premier League players. So people will switch off because that's the standard we're at.
But surely it's common sense to put the man between the ball and the defender.
It is common sense, but like you say,
and they're getting paid to do it.
Everyone makes mistakes in football, even Premier League players. People switch off. It's human error.
That is true, but considering that again, we still knew Akinfenwa was going to be an ever-present danger during the game.
But he didn't score though.
No, but he said it bounced off him. It bounced off him.
We could have headed it out, and there's a poor header and it goes to that player.
Well, maybe true, but did you say it bounced off Akinfenwa and went to whoever scored anyway?
I think Ledbetter was standing in front of him. But I'm thinking, why is Ledbetter there?
More my point was that the guy who scored had far too much space to aim for.
You got the cross coming over here. You got Adam Akinfenwa here, and you got nobody in between. For me, that's crazy. And he hits the ball from there to there, free marking. The keeper's got no chance because it goes through crowded penalty box, 8 yards out. Keeper's got no chance. If it goes over the defender and he heads the ball, the keeper's got a chance. For
me, it's down to the manager as well to get on that training pitch to get the defence organised.
Oh yeah, it will happen.
Get them.
But he's only had 2 days.
Definitely.
I'm just saying that like once he gets them trained on a football pitch, because it's been a problem all season, 12 games now, and we're just conceding every game. You've got to learn to read dangers. To be, to stay focused,
the expectation is.
To read where it's coming from, to get somebody tall on the tall lad. You know what I mean? Like Lynch or Willis.
But you forget though, the team's very low in confidence at the minute. However, they've just lost a manager. They're losing games. We haven't scored in 2 games now, so everyone's confidence must be down there.
That's all. I'll go in a race and I go up there with no confidence. I go up there, I think, no, I'm going to lose. What's the point of this? What's the point of turning up? What's the point of going on the park? You got Lynch. At least Lynch did try and hit the ball, but he was too far away from the man. And you got Conor McLaughlin and you got Willis standing there picking the noses, not watching what he's doing.
You're watching on the set pieces.
That's if it was them anyway.
Watching the set pieces. I was saying to you, just watch our defenders, and there should be like all of them should be organised, talking to each other and saying like, you get him. Do you know what I mean?
Basically organise and do your jobs. Organise and associate jobs.
Make some animals doesn't seem like all communicating with each other and telling where the danger is. We knew the danger yesterday was the family, wasn't it? He's the danger man. They're going to hoof the ball up. He's going to draw 2 or 3 players on him and it's going to leave space. Do you know what I mean?
That is true. I mean, look, don't get us wrong. Like that communicate as we know. You're all right. As we know, communication is a huge part of organising and defence. But what Dean said was was true to a point that Phil Parkinson only had a couple of days to work with these players.
No, exactly.
I'm hoping this is something that he's going to instill in them and think, right, okay, read danger. Get the ball out, get it clear, no nonsense, don't mess around with it, don't try and be fancy in your own half, get rid of it, just do the basic simple defending and then let the forward line take care of itself.
And I take Dean's point exactly. I mean, they're only human, they're going to make errors, and I'm hoping that's the only reason why that happened, because they all just switched off for a moment in time. And it was shown out by the goal going in the back of the net. I hope they weren't frightened of
Fingers crossed.
Or they didn't want to do it, simple as.
I mean as well.
If they're frightened of anybody on the football pitch, they shouldn't be professional footballers.
Exactly.
Like 16 done, but if I was playing, I'd let them know I was
don't get us wrong. At the risk of sounding arrogant here, like these players are playing for Sunderland. Really, we shouldn't be scared of anybody in this league. No. We shouldn't be. But I suppose in a way you could say the League One defender. So I suppose that there are going to be moments where they switch off. It just happens far too much, though.
But as I'm saying, I think once Phil Parkinson come, he's only had a couple of days. We've got Tommy on Tuesday. I mean, you're not going to see great improvement straight away. But in a few games, if he gets them organised on the football pitch, you start getting organised as a unit, rating dangers with set pieces, corners, throw-ins, whatever. And then we can keep a clean sheet and always get a couple of goals and win a game.
And to be fair to them, we're not going to face second Fenwar every week, are we?
Exactly. He's a handful.
So Phil Parkinson yesterday, Dean, he said he saw some changes in the game, he saw some sparks, some rays of light. So what's your thoughts on Phil Parkinson altogether?
Like you say, he was my first choice. I think, like we say, we went for someone who was out of work. Don't get us wrong, he's got experience. I did say I want someone with experience getting out of this league, which he has done. And I could see what the players were trying to do, but it was the final ball. It was always the final ball. We were getting in good positions down the byline, and it was just either the final pass, the final cross. It was just the quality at the end just was lacking really. But I think there was a lot of players unfit. Watmore was really unfit. You could tell.
He was blown. First off, he was leggy. I said you're going to have to tap him off.
That's no surprise given how long he's been out for.
You also said an interesting point. He was more animated on the touchline.
You said he got stuck in the Gareth
Ainsworth. There was something happening in the game and the two of them, and he was like, same on the side. I mean, I know we've talked about this weeks ago. Sorry. And it doesn't define you as a manager, but I think even the Sons supporters love it when the managers come on at the side, and he was going. I
didn't see his hands in his pocket once.
No, he was.
In fairness, I've said I think a lot gets made of the fact that people, you're crap because you don't have your hands in your pockets and you're not being animated. Well, it doesn't really define a result, does it?
It doesn't.
But no, I do like to see it. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that. That's one thing people level at Jack Ross, which is I think is an easy thing to point to. Really, that was the least of Jack Ross's problems.
Can I say one more thing? He made 3 changes, right? 3 changes.
He made them quite soon, didn't he?
Before 70 minutes, right? So for me, that shows he'll go for it.
Exactly.
And he sees that's not working, so he changes it.
Being proactive, that's what it's about.
Right. So Sean, what's your take on Phil Parkinson, Sean?
Obviously, with the managers, what was linked, I'll be honest, I said it last week, I would have liked to see Pearson with maybe Phillips as his number 2. But it's been made now. Phil Parkinson's got my total 100% backing. He's got a proven track record of getting clubs up through League One. He obviously done well with Bradford. He got in the League Cup final. I'm well behind the bloke, and I just hope he's signed a 2.5-year contract.
What did the bloke say to you in the car park?
In the car.
What did he say in the car?
Good.
Go on, tell us the story.
No.
Here's a story here. Let's hear it.
This is true that our partner company says, Phil Parkinson is the Sam Allardyce of the low leagues. So I said, I'll settle for that. Because obviously, as well, Sam Allardyce was the best manager we've had in the last 10 years, 15 years. Anyway, Phil Parkinson, like I see it. I'm totally behind him. I believe that if he's given time, he's signed a 2.5-year contract. I think that he'll get it right. It's just going to take a few games to get that defence sorted. But I mean, like you say, he's done well at Bradford, he's done well at Colchester, and he's done well at Bolton. He's getting them promoted from League One to the Championship, so that's what we need. We need a manager who's got that on his CV. He's got that on his CV. Jack Ross didn't, fortunately for him. And I do think given time, he'll turn it around. Yeah. So I'm 100% behind him. But I'm a bit disappointed in some people saying, "Oh well, everybody's got opinion. But I think we've got to be realistic, and it was never going to be a big name when the third tier of English football. Do you know what I mean? This guy ticks all the boxes for me. Give him time, and he'll get it right. Fingers crossed.
Michael?
Parky out, Jack Ross back. Obviously, that was a joke for anyone who. I think to follow on what Sean said, I think it is something that Parkinson knows how to get teams out of this division, and I think that what you mentioned about Bolton was spot on, because even though it was a miracle that he got Bolton out of League One, look at the circumstances off the pitch there, and an even bigger miracle that he kept them in the Championship to begin with. And however bad people perceive Stuart Dolan and Charlie Methven to be, even though I obviously personally massively disagree with it, the circumstances off the pitch are much better here than Parkinson would have had at Bolton. He's got better players to work with, so I think I hope that he's going to be pragmatic enough to realise what the best system is, what the best way is to play with this side and get the best out of them, and at least up until January pick up results and just keep us in the mix for the top two. I mean, I know at the minute, look, we're 7 points behind Wycombe. I'm not very happy about that at all, but it's still 3/4 of the season. That can change like that. It can change very, very quickly. So, I mean, I looked in midweek. Wycombe have got a game away at Blackpool. That's not going to be an easy game.
Tricky, yeah.
And as long as we win, So I mean, it's all ifs and buts. It's all hypothetical. But as far as Parkinson, like I said before, if he can get us defending properly, keeping clean sheets, as we should be doing, we should be expecting it. Then make sure we've got the forward line to score pretty much almost every game. I mean, how many games since we've dropped out of League One have we failed to score in? It's only about 3 or 4, isn't it?
It's not many. Two. I think it's 2 this season. I think we had 1 or 2 last season.
We've had 3 this season. I think it's
3.
Peterborough, Lincoln, and yesterday. No, don't blame me for forgetting about Peterborough. And then last year it was only Barnsley. So people say, "Oh, we don't score." No, scoring is not the problem. We need to stop conceding.
Yeah.
Well, scoring at the minute, scoring is a problem because we haven't scored in 2 games. That is a problem. No. But the worst thing he could have done yesterday was play the formation he played. It's a Jack Ross formation, 4-2-3-1.
I mean, you were saying it looked a bit different though the way
it did,
4-2-3-1.
but don't play 4-2-3-1 because everyone just looks and goes. Everyone said this is a Jack Ross side who's been playing 4-2-3-1 for a full season, and we've done the same thing again with a different manager, and I think that's what everyone just looked at and went.
Do you not think then that it wasn't necessarily Parkinson looking at the form? I mean, I know Parkinson would have ultimately picked the team. I'm not no doubt he wouldn't have. But do you think he would have gone under the recommendation for this game of some of the coaches saying, "Look, I've only been here 2 days. I've just been appointed. What's the best thing to do for this? What's your input?" But Tranmere, we shouldn't have that again.
Oh, if he does, I won't be happy.
Well,
put it that way.
Hey, if we play that formation and we win comfortably, then who knows?
I mean,
I know what you mean.
4-2-3-1. He started that, but in the second half he switched to a 4-1-4-1. And when you want to start in it, it was Power and McGeady down the left, wasn't it? And I think it looked like we could have done something in the second half, and he changed it 4-1-4-1.
I think it's going to be.
If I had any advice for him, don't play Ledbetter and Power in the middle together.
No, that was my next question.
Oh, sorry,
go on then. No,
sorry,
we've gone.
That's fine. What was your thought on Power and Ledbetter? And what was your initial feeling when you saw the lineup? And I saw Power and Ledbetter, I thought, oh my God, we're going back in time. But are them two big, sort of personalities in the changing rooms, and they're like, "Boss, I want to be on the park. First match, I'll show you what I can do." What was your thoughts?
I just totally I said to you, as soon as the team was named, I went, "It's the slowest midfield we've got. What's going on? Where's Dobson? Where's Dobson?"
We were talking about the way on, but Ledbetter. I mean, Ledbetter's not the clearest.
I've got
Ledbetter's done. You know what? I like the bloke and all that, and obviously
he's been through a lot. Obviously,
Sunderland's in his blood, but he's done, man.
He just I think it's part of his age. He can't cut it anymore, can he? I mean, like you said, he's a lovely bloke. He's been through a lot off the pitch.
Yeah, of course.
But I think I didn't disagree with playing them both yesterday in the context that Wycombe are a physical side and we needed experience in there.
I think Dobson. I think Dobson's
I agree. I agree, but I just think for that game, I didn't mind those. I don't think it was the worst idea in the world playing those two for that game.
I did.
However, well, fair enough. We'll just have to go with lockerheads and disagree. I seem to disagree with everyone, don't I? But I do. But I think if he does that against Tranmere, then I will hang me head in shame for that, because against Tranmere, it's going to be different being at home. You're going to be expected to be rightly expected to be on the front foot, put Tranmere under pressure, and if you have Power and Ledbetter, it's going to be pass sideways, pass back, pass to the back four. It's like don't
get us wrong. There was a lot more forward passing, a lot more forward than normal.
But we do need more energy in the middle of the park.
Definitely.
When you played the 4-1-4-1, obviously Ledbetter was sitting in front of the back four, wasn't he? Then you had 4 across the middle, and Power was next to McGeady, wasn't he? Because it was a lot coming down that side, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I do like Power. I think I would have Power. I mean, I know you said you're not the biggest fan of him, but I'd personally have Power in the team because I think he can offer a bit more going forward. I think he's more robust than Ledbetter is. I think he can play one or the other in a game, but I don't think he can play both of them.
Sorry, man.
2 things I want to say. First of all, Stuart Donald, Grant Ledbetter's a great ambassador to the club. You know, if he wants to stay on, give him a coaching role within the club itself. And earlier on, I mentioned about when I fell over in my race. There was a toddler who ran in front of us and a woman. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault. I kicked the speed bump, so no blame on them whatsoever. Now, going on to, like I say, the 4-1-4-1 formation, did that work a lot better? And would you consider doing that for another away match?
Well, I would consider. I mean, say I would consider doing it on Tuesday, but not better in sitting there. I would even put McGeoch there. No, McGeoch. I mean, I know
against Tranmere, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Not really killing McGeoch, but I just think like. But even though I like the lad, like you see, he's been for a lot. You know, he lost his man last year. His better days is definitely gone. Like
somebody else suggested that Luke O'Nine would fit that spot with all the energy he's got.
Maybe, but I think O'Nine's more effective running past strikers. Like,
was he effective yesterday?
No,
I think
it was his worst game.
It was probably one of his worst games I've seen play. But I think Akinfenwa got in his head because he was taunting him a lot. I seen them when they were shaking hands. He kept bumping him all the time, and I think the players were just getting in his head. And like you say, when you play against your former club. You want to prove a point, but the players were just shutting him down. I think it was one of his worst games, but I'm not going to hold it against him because, like you say, he's been one of the best players last season.
No, exactly.
Do you think that when that time he got chucked over the Hordens at the Portsmouth match,
playoff game,
and the bloke wanted to strangle him and give him a good iron, do you think that got in his head? Because I thought he played well after that.
Oh, you know, he went in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
So I think that was just because he knew the players themselves.
I think it's because it's the club he used to play for. Obviously, you'll know a lot of the players from when he was.
I think he's a strong character.
He's a strong character, but I do think he was a bit rattled by some of the players because he was getting the rough treatment. I thought he was definitely getting roughed up.
But that's not a surprise because look how we, in some respects, in terms of physicality, in terms of injury, we came across quite unscathed yesterday. When you look at what happened last time we went there last season, they were kicking our players all over.
Kicking us all over, weren't they?
Like, you know, and I don't mind teams being physical, but when you're going out of your way to injure players, that's not on. You've got, you know. So I was actually quite amazed yesterday. Luke and I know anyone didn't get injured.
Well, actually, they did. Charlie White got injured.
Ligaments.
Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
So yesterday, the substitutions. When he made the substitutions, which order were they, and what was your initial feelings when he did it?
Watmore came off first, didn't he?
Was it Maguire who came on for Watmore?
Oh, it was Greg for White.
Well, Greg on for White.
You've got to agree with that because he's injured and we're changing game plan. We're playing more on the floor.
Greg's more likely to get you a goal anyway.
Yeah, true.
He looked alright, Greg. Like I thought in patches. Like
he did.
He was doing alright. I mean, there's a couple of times he actually put his neck on the line and trying to think of the keeper.
He was. He closed. That was the first one he done where he had to close on the keeper. When under Ross, he would have never done that.
So he's actually earning his wages, is he?
A little bit. He was actually linking up play. He was doing 1-2. See how he's back to goal a lot. He was running that. He actually was.
There was one attempt late on in the second half where the ball came in from the right. It was crossed into the box, and Greg basically just got a toe to it. But if he just got a better connection to it, it would have been 1-1. It went straight. Yeah,
it was across from the. It would have been.
It was from the right hand side.
It would have been on the right hand side.
From your point of view, it would have been on the left.
On the left. It came in,
when I watched
he just missed it.
You know.
But I thought he looked a lot better. He looked.
So the next substitution, what was that?
Watmore came off.
Maguire came on for Watmore, I think.
What time was that roughly?
55, I think.
55,
70 was the last sub. 69, 70.
Yeah.
What was the last sub again?
The last sub was.
McNulty come on for who? Was it
Ledbetter?
Because he gave McGeady the armband, didn't he?
Now for me, Watmore, I wouldn't start him on Tuesday night. He's played a game. He's been injured for quite a while. He's played half a game. Played a game in the League One, the Cup match, whatever it was. So personally, I would rest Watmore for Tuesday night. What would you do? Watmore?
Is McGeady suspended for Tuesday?
I think so. Watmore for me, he's definitely unfit. First half, you could tell he was.
I think he's got to be in the squad, man. Because if you want to get him fit, you've got to start. You've got to have him playing at least parts in games anyway. So
put Maguire on. You stick Maguire on.
I think Watmore, like me, it's so frustrating. He's got the pace and stuff, but he hasn't got any control of the ball. Do you know what I mean?
His end product's been lacking recently.
Do you know what I mean?
You know,
he's got game time though, is it?
No, he's got great pace and he can dig anybody on his day, but it's just his final.
As simple as it is, I think he can get us up the pitch better than Gooch can.
Oh, definitely.
Personally, I think this is going to sound really contradictory in what you just said. I think Watmore's game intelligence is better than Gooch. Watmore just simply sometimes doesn't have control of the ball, but I think he tries to know when to release the ball and when to bring other people in play. Whereas Gooch, I've said countless times, he tries to dribble like he's Messi, and then he's surprised he's lost the ball. So
there's some things I hate in life, and I don't hate very much, right? But
here we go. What's this?
When players have had a really long injury and they come back, and then they either insist or the manager insists on playing them game after game after game, and then they wonder why they get injured again. For me, he needs to be put on the bench for Tuesday night. We need to make sure he doesn't get injured again, because the last thing we want is Watmore injured. Want him back fully fit.
Exactly.
You need that, not like kid gloves or whatever. You need to get him back slowly. Bring him back slowly, half an hour here, half an hour there, till eventually maybe it's a month's time. There's no rush for him. We've got a big enough squad. We'll get him back. We need him back fully fit, firing on all cylinders. We need to fit Watmore on the side.
And later on in the season, he could be crucial.
Exactly. You don't want him injured again.
But the only problem is that every time we try to get him back to fit, there's always like, oh, he's got a training niggle and he's out for a couple of weeks. And it's like,
I think
these type of things need to be cut out.
I think he's the highest earner now.
Probably, yeah.
I think 15.
You know what? When we went to Wycombe fans, right, we went over where the team coach was, because before it was Sunderland fans, there was a lot of Wycombe fans. And Watmore signed a couple of things and went on the bus. Then McGee was signing some. And the little kid says, "Can you get Duncan for us?" You went on the bus, got Duncan. Duncan came off the bus to get the photo, and I thought that was class.
So as a bloke, Watmore's class.
Yeah.
As a bloke, he's a really intelligent lad, but he's a quality person.
For me, I was just thought he's just made that young kid's day. He didn't have to get off the bus.
Exactly.
He could have went, "I'm knackered."
That's the type of person he is, though, isn't he? Sometimes players don't realise how little gestures like that can really make people's days. It can make their weekends. Probably.
It was just the fact he got back off the bus to do it. And I thought that's
a signal of a lovely person.
So Duncan Watmore, if you're watching this, well done, mate.
So Michael, you were saying about Duncan Watmore doing, great things for the kids, absolutely fantastic. It's good for the club. And yesterday, Sean, on the interviews, you interviewed a young lad. What was his name?
Finley.
He looked really distraught.
No,
he did.
Honestly, he looked really upset, and his dad took him to 4 away games and they lost all. Well, I think they've lost 3 and they've drew 1. And I felt so sorry for him. I looked at him and he just looked so upset. Now I give him a cuddle and I said things will get better. And if you're watching Finley, things will get better, son.
Definitely. We'll start with
Finley, just remember when I got into football, it took me like 9 games to see Sunderland win away. So go on, you'll beat that. You'll beat that easily.
So we'll go into the man of the matches now. Man of the match, man of the matches, man of the match, man of the match, and score predictions. So Michael, you predicted Sunderland to get beat or win 2-1.
No, I'm not that not that negative. No, I did predict 2-1.
And who was your man of the match?
Bad mistake for the rant you just put on earlier.
Sean, you predicted a 1-3 Sunderland victory, and do you normally predict victories?
No, not on the job.
Who was your man of the match?
Do you know what? I would say Lee Burge or Max Power. I'd say Burge because he done all right apart from the goal. It wasn't his fault either, so I'd say Lee Burge.
Dino, you said 2-1 victory to Sunderland, and who was your man of the match?
Oh God. Probably Power. Just for the simple fact he was putting himself about. He was just putting himself about. He was trying to make something happen. You could tell. I was just enjoying him, watching bomb forward and try and make something happen. Like straight away in the second half, he ran through, and I think he tried to dink the keeper because the keeper was off his line because he was just outside the box. It was like the first minute or two, and he just. I thought it was a corner, but he gave a goal kick, so I'm guessing he tried to dink the keeper and he just proper overhit it. But
and to go with a full house of terrible score predictions, I predicted Sunderland would win 1-0, and man of the match to give it to Burge because, like I said, the goal wasn't his fault.
At least he got the score right.
Exactly, wrong way around.
Yeah.
Right, so the takeover. Is there any news come out this week, Michael, about the takeover? Is it still happening? Is there investment happening? I keep hearing people saying news coming out saying it is, and then news coming out saying it's gone quiet. So any thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what, if anyone's got inside information, please feel free and tell us who told you those sort of things. That would be great, even though I know there'll be confidentiality reasons. I think obviously there was there was an article in the Echo at the back end of the week saying that the FFP Sunderland are close to an investment deal. Whether it's takeover or investment, I think I've said it last week. I think people need to just calm down a little bit. If it's takeover or investment, you're going to get money regardless. That's what we need. Let's just put that to bed. As for the article itself, I've said all along, I'm still maybe delusionally optimistic that it'll happen. I still think that Donald would have come out and said definitively if the takeover had fallen through. If it had not been happening, we would have heard something by now, I'm sure. We might still do, it might still not happen. But for me, I'm optimistic that it will happen. It's just a question of getting it done sooner rather than later. But like I said, if we want to try and get money into the side, for instance, we can't see that for another 2 months anyway. So, what's the difference between doing it now, finishing it now, as opposed to finishing it in December? There's not really any difference there.
I read an article on Saturday morning before we left to go to.
Which newspaper?
No, it was on Twitter, but somebody put it on Facebook, said they'd been talking to somebody within the club, and basically they're saying that there was Stuart Donald and Charlie Meatham were trying to get the naming rights for the stadium, and they were trying to barter with two companies, and then it's backfired because they found out about it, and they're trying to like work them against each other. It backfired, and then apparently the deal's off. But then I've heard it's investment in January, then a takeover if we get promoted end of the season. So, so
that's only a rumour, just a rumour.
Well, I heard that a couple of people have been sacked for negotiation. What was his name? He was called Tony something.
Tony Davis has left. Yeah.
I heard he's been sacked. I heard someone else has been sacked.
I thought he just left. I didn't know he was sacked.
I heard he's been sacked. Your mate said the same thing. And someone even mentioned in the comments, Sean, what do you think of somebody being sacked? I can't remember his name. I don't know if it was Nigel.
Was it Nigel Dunn, I think?
Yeah, I think it was Nigel. Shout out Nigel.
These are all rumours, mind. Only rumours.
Yeah, exactly. There's
but for me,
no substance in
I
that.
said from the start, I just think it's too good to be true. Like someone with that much money wants to invest in Sunderland. So for me, I'm still going to say it's not going to happen. I just think it's too good to be true.
May the best person be predicted right. One of us is going to be right.
Fine by me.
Might end up being you, to be honest, but you never know.
What do we win?
I mean,
respect.
We could win a cup.
We win the phone. We win the phone.
I'm going to make videos.
Knocking the mics over.
I mean, obviously there's going to be rumours and this, that, you know what I mean. But it's talk that the rumours are of them. What I heard on Saturday morning about like Charlie and Stuart trying to get a better deal for themselves, and then they've tried to they've left themselves wide open to a certain extent, and then they found it. MSD's found it and said no, deal's off. I hope it was need truth in that. I don't think it is.
I'd love to know all these sources that keep giving us conflicting information though, because they all work for the same thing, which is the club. So how do we keep getting different stories?
Do you not reckon because the fan base is still a little bit toxic under Jack Ross? Do you reckon they still try to wind up to try and make it kick off more? Maybe.
Well, when you've seen the way people are going on at Donald and Methvin, which I've said before, the two people who have saved us from being in the brink of administration and all that, even though they're not perfect, That's what I think.
What do you think, my mistake, like?
Well, I think the takeover will happen at some point, but I don't know who with.
Good man.
I don't know what year, what century, whether I'll still be alive. I'm not quite sure. But I think it will happen eventually.
It'll happen in 2027. There you go.
Right, we'll move on to Tuesday night. Sunderland versus Tranmere Rovers. Yes, the mighty Tranmere coming to Sunderland, and the Tranmere have been in quite good form. They beat Oxford. Beat Coventry, They beat Coventry 1-0 last Sunday, and they got a late equaliser on Friday night, and the team they played Southend.
Southend at home.
Yeah, so they're getting 4 points in 2 games, but surely, we can't go 4-2-3-1 against Tranmere. So what formation would you play, Michael? And who would you bring into the side and drop off yesterday?
I think for me,
obviously Charlie White
you've sprung the and McGeady either. You've sprung the formation question on me there. I think I would look to try and get away with getting McNulty and Grigg in the same team. Because I think, I said it before, and granted, I'm basing this off just 15 minutes, which afterwards it went to pot really. But I think against Oxford at the start of the season, McNulty and Grigg started the game together. In the first 15-20 minutes, they linked up really well, I thought. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think but it's all about, are they both fit and can you get them both into the same style of play? And then what does that accommodate playing behind them? So I think I would try and get McNulty and Grigg in the same team. But then it's a question of, can you play like a flat 4 and a 2 or 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2, whatever it is?
Could you play like 4-4, maybe it's 1-1 or 4-4-2? What do you mean? One strikers behind the other one?
Maybe that might work.
4-4-1.
Why can't we go 4-3-3, but not with wingers, but 3 strikers? Why can't we do that? Because let's be fair,
we've only got 2 fit strikers at the moment.
But let's be fair, right? When strikers play up front, they're normally on the wing anyway.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So why not have a
4-3-3
with, instead of having McGeady on the wing and like Maguire on the wing, why don't we have McNulty, Grigg in the middle, and then someone else? Maybe, well, obviously not McGeady, Maguire. In the canal, just interplay, link, swap. Do you know what I mean?
I think as well, if you play, even if you were to go with that formation, go with a 4-3-3, if you had players that have got energy behind them, so we had 2 of those midfielders being O'Nien and Dobson, and then have maybe even McGeoch, for example, as playing in there, McGeoch or Power, whoever it is, and if you can find a balance within the team, that should be enough to overturn Tranmere. Let's be perfectly honest.
Parkinson's preferred,
Hopefully, anyway.
preferred system is the 4-2-3-1 system, but like, say change it in the second half.
See, Dean's shaking his head.
To the
He's saying he's not-
4-1-4-1.
Hate that formation.
But no, the 4-1-4-1. I mean, I wouldn't be against doing that on Tuesday night. I mean,
What,
we did
4-1-4-1?
4-1-4-1. Aye. It's because we've only got 2 strikers now. We've only got McNulty and Greek because what Charlie White's out for a few months now. So if you get
Is that how long he's out for? Sorry. How long is he out for?
Someone said it's ligament damage to his
it's
ankle.
going
Oh, it's going to be a while
It's
then.
going to be a few
isn't it?
months, isn't it?
Anyway, okay. But
So would your team be?
Yeah,
Ignore the defence. The defence speaks for itself, I think, mainly. So who? Or would you bring Ozturk
I
back in?
would.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I would keep the defence as it is. I don't know what happened with Long's the book because I would have him left back into Hume. He must have had an injury or something. I would play if we're going to play 4-1-4-1. I would either do McGeoch sitting or George Jobson sitting, and I would just go Maguire, Power. What's in the middle?
Dobson.
Aye, 09. No, Dobson sitting.
you forgot the lovely Luke O'Nine.
And
Luke, if you're watching this, you'll be insulted. How dare
09,
you?
09 and what more? And obviously, I would start with Greg up front, not Nulty.
No, we've got to start Greg. We've got to get him. One of the key things to get him promoted, hopefully, if we do, is that he's got to start scoring
If he
goals.
scores, so I haven't got
He needs
much-
confidence. He needs
And exactly,
confidence.
and as well, and we have got to start giving him more than 2 chances a game. We've got to start giving him regular
The
service.
creativity's got to get better.
It's got to get improved.
1 shot in the first half. It was a 2 in the
There
second.
was only 1 shot on target the whole game, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Here's a thought. Let's say if you have the Buck in left back and you go 4-4-2, could you play Hume on the left?
I'd give him a go. You know what? When he was going forward, he looked good.
He's alright. It's just he's doing it a lot yesterday. He was bombing forward, and all the lads around must have gone, "Get back, Hume, get back," because he was going forward. No, he's going forward, but he just forgets. Oh, I'm a left back here, but I'm playing left wing. Do you know what I mean? I'll just scan forward and just. Who's playing left back? Oh, sorry, me. But he gets back and then something happened. You know what I mean? But
I'd give him a go. For me,
So would I, yeah.
He was crossing the ball. He was getting down the wing. He was taking his player around.
I'll try.
That's what you want from him.
If you're going to have him form a partnership with whoever's playing on the left forward position, then they have them interchange. Like, say if Denver Hume goes forward, say if it's Maguire, for example, Maguire could drop back a little bit when Hume's going forward, cover each other's position, or if it's the Buck, whoever, cover each other's positions.
that's what it's all about as well. Like you see, I mean, if you've got somebody like Hume who does like getting forward, you need somebody who's on the left wing to maybe think, oh, well, he's left that space, I'll just cover him there.
But if there's a left back already there, if there's already a left back there, De Buck, and then Hume's in front of him midfield.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh no! You want to see him playing Hume at left wing? I'll be against that, mate. Because
So you're talking the front three of Hume, Grigg and McNulty. That'd be interesting.
if you put a 4-3-3.
Doesn't this just show how much depth we haven't got because we're playing left backs and left wings? That's how bad our depth in the squad is.
That was a big
And that's
thing
the
in the
thing,
summer.
because with the difference between playing left back and left wing or left forward is that at left back you're less likely to get marked out of the game. So if Hume's delivering a good cross going forward and he's being dangerous and potent going forward, he's going to be more likely to have 2-3 players on him every game.
But with McGeady being injured, suspended, would you bring Chris Maguire in to replace him? Or
Who else
Who
you got?
Gooch.
so you're 4-1-4-1.
That's what I'm going for.
4-3-3 every day of the week.
And who was your 3 up front, you say?
3 up front, where with who we've got fit. Greg obviously start in the middle. McNulty and Maguire, because Maguire's played up front a couple of times.
And your 3 midfielders?
09 every day. Dobson. And I'm going to go Power for what I seen yesterday. I saw a massive improvement in Power yesterday.
I wouldn't be against that. I think if you're going with because I think one of the things that I think Gooch. Actually, I said it. I think when Parkinson gets a point, I think in the next few months, I think Gooch's performances could actually improve.
I do, yeah.
I don't know
Well, he needs to tell him what he's doing wrong.
Oh no, I agree. I think it's a question that Gooch could have a role coming off the bench on Tuesday night.
I won't be against, like you say, the 4-3-3 or the 4-1-4-1. I mean, anything. Even 4-4-2. I won't be against anything ambitious in
As long as we win the game.
No, aye.
As long as it's not defensive the whole of the time.
Yeah, we need to stop with this, like, keeping clean sheets. It's going to be hard because we can't keep one, so why not just go for it all the time?
That is
We're
true.
in League One, for God's sake, man.
That is true, but you do need to keep clean sheets though. We can't keep conceding.
But do you know if you keep attacking them, how they're going to get a chance to go forward if you keep them pegged
But
back?
if you don't keep clean sheets though, it puts more pressure on you to score 2-3 goals every game.
Second half, Wycombe, them are doing what we done on the rocks, just sat back.
Sat back and then
sat
come
back,
at them,
we're
aye.
attacking,
They're just happy
just
with
come
the
break
one
them
goal,
down.
mate.
And they kept a clean sheet. They won the game because of it.
If your defenders just basically do the majority of defending and let your midfielders and attackers do the rest of the forward players, surely
Or
you
even
can
have one
still
of the
create
midfielders
a lot of chances.
Yeah. There's going to be enough there, even if just because I want us to be defensively solid doesn't mean we're going to be sitting back.
I
You
still
can
think
do
I still
both.
think the squad yesterday was a Jack Ross mentality. A squad that's going to take a while for
That's
us to
going to
get
take a while
out
for them
with
to get
that.
out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed yesterday playing 4-2-3-1. We sat really deep. When did we ever? When we were never in their box.
In the
When was
first
our
half,
striker?
in the first
It's
half,
high up.
I don't mind doing that. It depends. You're going to have to be pragmatic to the opponent you're facing, and if you're home or away. So, place facing Tranmere at home is going to be a completely different challenge to what placing Wycombe away was.
But Wycombe away, first game for Parkinson was always going to be hard.
It's going to be hard.
job.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the hardest
No, although
matches,
I still think the squad we had should have gone there and got a result, though.
Well,
But you can't say that on the form though. On form, you say we get smashed.
No, but if you can't have expectations going into games, then there's no point turning up.
Let's
Well,
face it, regardless, it was a really tough first match for Phil Parkinson. He couldn't have got a worse first match away from home after two
Yeah, it's gone now,
games in
totally.
charge. So, what's your score predictions for Tranmere, Michael?
I'm going to be ambitious and say we're going to keep a clean sheet, so hopefully I'm right.
No chance.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'm right. I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland.
2-0 Sunderland, and for the Shrewsbury match the week after.
That one we won't keep a clean sheet because we're away from home. I've said to you off air that I think the next 3 games, I know we'll get to Southend at a later date, but Tranmere, Shrewsbury and Southend, I'm sorry, you've got to take 9 points from those games. So you can throw pelters at me when we probably will only get 5 or 6, but I think we'll beat Shrewsbury 2-1. I think it'll be a tight affair, but I think we've got to look into these next 3 and got to win all of them. You've got to get on a run.
Dino?
Tranmere, where are they in the league? Anyone?
For like 18, 17, 18
Oh,
for
yeah.
something.
Right, for me, smash them 3-1. We're going to concede. We're going to concede. That's a fact. Right? Because
Do you just look where they are in the league? Go smash them, beat them, smash them, stop them.
Smash them. Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury's a funny one for me. I think we'll win them, but I think it'll be a 2-1. And then
Yeah, it'll be a tight
Southend. Where are them?
Well, I think we're probably getting that in the next panel, I would think. But
Smash them.
Yeah, keep Burge in goal.
Yeah, keep Birch.
Burge in goal.
definitely are.
yeah,
Burge in goal.
hasn't done anything wrong. Hasn't deserved to be dropped.
Birch in goal.
Yes.
Tranmere, we're going to have a 3-0 to Sunderland. First clean sheet of the season.
They've watched me.
Chelsea.
Go on.
What about Shrewsbury, Sean?
But I'm going to say the same. No chance.
I want to see when I keep another clean sheet.
I'm going to go to you next week.
2-0.
Right. Can we gang up on Dino next week? Next time we see
No
him?
chance,
They
man.
say, no
way
chance. No chance of a clean sheet. What was that?
On the way back.
Then again, he'll probably do that also when we inevitably concede.
I'm going to do a wee Philly special and go for a 3-1 home victory against Tranmere. And then I think we'll keep a clean sheet against Shrewsbury. I'm going to go for 1-0 away victory against Shrewsbury.
Does that mean you think we'll be up by Easter then?
No, we're not winning the league this
Come on,
season.
that's not a wee Philly special though. You've got to say up by Easter. Up by Easter. Come on, let's champion it.
I'll be happy at this moment in time to secure a playoff position the way it's
As long
been
as we
going.
win the playoffs, yes. But I wouldn't take that one.
So where are we going to finish the season?
Oh God, yeah. This is going to change every week.
We're not catching them by surprise.
Yeah, noticed. Thanks very
I'm
much.
going to be ambitious, mate.
You're the cleverest one, are you though?
I know.
No pressure on me then. I think at the minute I think we're finishing the playoffs, but it's still early days.
Dino?
Go with Sean first. Go with Sean first.
Is this just so you got more time to think?
I know. I'm going
to be ambitious and I'm going to see we'll finish second.
Oh,
Dino?
okay.
You know what? Some bloke said it
he's right.
perfectly in an interview. He says this season's not going to be our season, but next season will. So I'm going to say we're going to finish outside the playoffs.
You're the Dominator, yeah.
I'm not the Dominator, mate,
You're
but
the Dominator.
I'm not the Dominator. But guess what?
Jack Ross is gone now,
sorry,
mate.
the way
Stop being positive.
Right, hang on. So, Dino, if you're saying this season's not going to be our season and next season is, are we going to go up next season then?
Yes.
Are we going to win the league?
Yes.
Are we going to be up by Easter?
No.
Are we going to be up by Christmas?
Yes.
I'm going to say a long shot second, but more realistically it's playoffs. And this time,
stick
when
with
we go
second,
to
stick with
Wembley, we'll get promoted
But
to
do you
the
know what the best
championship.
thing is, though? When we see what I said, if we do go up this season, it proves me wrong. But if we don't go up, I say, well, I've been proved right.
You've got now to lose then, haven't you?
Exactly. So
That's just your
obviously, I
opinion.
want
I'll
to
tell you
go.
what.
Of course, I want to
I'll amend my
Sorry,
prediction.
fair.
I'll amend my prediction. I think we're going to finish 20th in League One. Happy days.
Right, so I'm going to finish today's Sunday bunch after I've been nice and full my Sunday lunch. I want to say a big thank you to Michael Bowers, who's reached over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thanks
thank you
everybody
very
for
much.
subscribing them.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Michael.
Seriously, everyone who's subscribed and support me, thanks very much. It's really appreciated.
Please watch yesterday's interviews with these two lads, Sean Middleton and Dean, after doing fantastic jobs under hard circumstances, difficult circumstances, top
Well done,
blokes.
guys.
But we're
Quality.
still looking for more volunteers to be what these guys are doing. You know, these guys can take you under the wing and show you the ropes. Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy it. We're looking for more volunteers, for reporters, and also, please, if you want to be involved, email SFC Fan TV at
Gmail.
I'll start again.
SAFCFanTV@gmail.com.
SAFC Fan TV 73 at gmail.com.
I tried to help you and I screwed that up.
Can I apologise yesterday as well to people who watch about the microphone? I was just to finish night shift and I wasn't with the guests, so my apologies about the microphone. I got it right on Tuesday night. Sorry.
And and can I just say, like, fans yesterday, like the Wycombe fans were brilliant.
No, they were absolutely
Very
brilliant.
friendly. Even one of them came up to Sean and says, "I watch it and I like what you're doing." You know, and that's for a Wycombe fan.
Thanks to any Wycombe fans then who watch this.
You know,
We really appreciate everybody watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a like, and we'll love your comments. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Cheers.
See you
Thanks
later,
very
lads.
much.
Glasses.